Alrighty, we are back with the PaWn Tonga Wanderer of Gozag. No, if it's no great mystery as to why I stream at weird hours, it would be because it would be because I unfortunately have a bad sleep schedule at the moment, as often happens to me. Hey Tony, it appears you have requested a DCSS run. It's kind of funny because I'm going to be streaming DCSS tournament stuff for a little while, but after that I can get to your request. Is there anything in particular you wanted? Maybe DM me on Discord about it so I can mark it down in my list. Anyway, let's see what we were doing here. We're on game number 55 of the world record streak. Training defenses. We don't really have much in the way of weapons. We were training we were training axes, but then we found this +11 short sword, which is just outrageously good. It won't last us forever, but it's still going to get us through lair branches probably. So we're training defenses, you know. We also have Kriya's mail coat, so the amount of base AC here on a ring mail is just high enough that armor training makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, we found this thing. It was a little awkward considering that we were working on axes, but you know, we have this broad axe that we can switch to at some point, but at the moment we have pretty much all of our resistances covered. Why do we have Animate Skeleton memorized with Gozag? Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't think that even occurred to me that I can't do that. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. I think I just saw Animate Skeleton and I was like, oh yeah, that's a really good spell at level 1, I'll just memorize that. And then proceeded to forget that I had it anyway because the character's strong enough to not care. I suppose we could get Song of Slaying, aka Wereblood now. Probably not worth it to bother trying to cast, though. Beastly Appendage technically makes sense. Actually, no, all of our slots are covered, so it won't even let us, well, actually, because we don't have gloves on, technically we could still, do this right now. Oh, it just melds now. I thought it avoided. I don't want that then. Anyway, yeah, we're probably not going to be using any spells. Was this sword on the Hellish Lair 2? No. No. We found that pretty late. I think it was on Lair 6. Actually, you found it on level 10 of the dungeon. Chikaru96, what's up, buddy? Okay, do we have Condenser Vein? We do. Okay, Condenser Vein. And we've been cucked by the Condenser Vein. We'll come back at some point, perhaps. Let's go finish dungeon, maybe do Orc. We have some MR. I'm probably going to go ahead and put that on instead of Slaying, because we just need Magic Resist, which is now called Willpower for some goddamn reason. And I will proceed to, I wonder if I can... Oh, these assholes! They didn't alias it? So now I actually have to type that. Oh, God, alright, whatever. Anyway, this is the only MR that we found. How is 0.26? It's awful. There's a couple good UI changes, and almost everything else is either bike shedding or just stupid as hell. But that's okay. We're only doing this to extend the world record streak and to help Man win the tournament with his for his team. I need to drop some stuff. For the time being, we'll drop Poison Resist, I suppose. Will Plus just looks dumb. It sure does. It sure does, my friend. Curse Ring of Attention. Remove Curse. Just to be totally safe, I'm going to Stare Dance this stuff. Plus Rats. Well, Plus Rats is hilarious, though. I'm okay with Plus Rats. So yeah, there's actually a Zot clock reason for us maybe not to finish out dungeon right now, which is a little goofy. I don't think we need to worry about that too much, but we might want to preserve a couple floors just to get the extra timer, depending on how much we run back and forth through here. You know what's messed up is I don't think you can see the Zot clock for the different branches by pressing Ctrl-O. I actually have to walk into them to find out. Zot clock replaces food. It's one of the worst mechanics I've seen them put into the game ever. It's kind of funny how bad it is, but basically you go into a new branch, you get 6,000 turns. Every time you go down into a new floor on that branch, you get an extra 6,000 turns added to the clock, and it maxes out at I think 27,000 maybe. So it's actually in your interest to dick around on those floors, so as not to waste turns, you know. I mean, you want to fully clear for the most part. Okay, we'll drop poison resist again. We'll wear this. Curse ring of teleportation. Alright, we no longer have remove curse, so we can't wear random rings anymore. I should be able to just tab through all this crap. Let's do it in a hallway like we should. Okay, just kidding, we're a little bit hurt. Hoping Kelby doesn't have too much lag throughout this tournament. The game is a bit stingy with remove curses, but that's okay. We have a perfectly strong character. Yeah, nothing's stopping me from stair dancing, really. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Deep Elf Mage. That's a Lightning Bolt Mage, no problem. We have our luck. I should be able to tab this stuff. Based, okay. Sadly, that shield didn't have a brand on it. Whoa! Just to be sure. We're gonna zap these fellas. Identify... Probably go ahead and identify the rapier. Alright, it's garbage, and hey, that's why I didn't wear it. That's distort, baby. Okay, we're safe here. As long as they stay split. Yeah, okay, we got them all. Can we beat the ghost? 20 damage plus weapon of protection. Which we don't get to see what the weapon is unless we look up that ghost. And even then, that might not work due to the new way that ghosts work. Let's see if we can duke it out with him. Looks like no. We have Condenser Vein, though. Is he resistant to cold? He's immune to cold. How cute. We get to kill the stuff behind, though, which is good. Ghosts aren't necessarily made from being a player, basically. They can be like fake ghosts, I think. And they certainly don't have to have died on this floor for them to show up on it. Well, the Tremorstones did some work. He had low AC. I forget if you can actually Acid Blast and get the debuff on something that's incorporeal, but we're just going to spam Acid on him. Okay, we got him. Probably should have just been attacking, to be honest. But hey, baby, we got that Lignify. There is an artifact of +6 Trident with plus Invisible and Aralek. We don't need that. And there is Orc. I don't really want to do Orc with only 2 MR. 16% chance of para. I have no Blink Scrolls, but I do have Fear, so we should be okay. Okay. What's magic map? Wait a minute. No, don't read magic map. I know where the things are because it goes at gold. Your prime sub didn't go through. It didn't do an alert? Curious. Did it not go through on your end, or did it just not alert? Let me log into Streamlabs real fast and take a look. Recent events. Huh. Well, this is curious because Alf's prime sub worked, and I see that in the list. I don't see yours at all. It's very interesting. But if you did just sub to me, then I definitely would thank you for that. Okay, so I like to dig these out, even though you can technically, you know, you can go down and go back up, because my... Oh, you did get the icon. Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Technically you can go down and go back up, but if you go back up, what can happen is that you can run into a sorcerer who immediately paralyzes you, and you're surrounded by Cyclops and stuff, and you can just die. So we don't want that to happen. Necronomicon is available. That's cute. I don't want to do extended, but if I did, that would be an easy path to it. I don't see any stat forms, so I don't think I care about any of this. I don't see... I guess I see Blink. It would probably be in my interest to learn some Blink. Shadowrun. Hey guys, let's get regen. Oh wait, it doesn't exist anymore. Actually, yeah. Let's buy that. Oops. Here we go. I'll put Blink on. Gosh, what do I usually put Blink on? Let's say capital B. Blink is good. Blink is real good. Another shop, very lucky on the D, on the Orc 1, and wow, we have a large shield of protection. That's great. Unfortunately, we would be attacking a bit slower with our short sword if we wore this until we train it up, but I really can't complain. Pez R, hey, there we go. Thanks, buddy. Awesome, man.
There we go.
Very cool. Appreciate that, man. Alright. I'm not going to turn down a +2 large shield. And that is a thing we're going to be using for the rest of the game, so let's go ahead and burn all of our enchant armor on it. What is preservation? I don't know why they decided to do like a throwback and call it that. Basically, it used to be a thing that protected you against acid and protected you against scrolls and potions being destroyed by fire and frost damage, respectively. That doesn't happen anymore and hasn't for a long time, but for some reason they started calling just the generic Arcor cloak a cloak of preservation. So we'll probably end up buying that, but I don't need it right now. Okay, again, we're gonna dig. I don't feel like getting memed on by orc sorcerers. I'm getting memed on by an orc priest instead. Let's be smart. Let's pull things back like we should. Wow, so many shops. Telly's worth buying, magic mapping's worth buying, fear, I guess I'll even get the remove curse, identify, vuln, of course, ammo, of course, fog. I'm not going to buy the enchant weapon unless I actually need it. Let's use identify on a potion. Ho ho! How long have we been sitting on this guy, I wonder? A truly wonderful and very rare drink. Yeah, basically, Tony. I mean, technically it would be optimal if I did that. But it's hard for me to even bother, to be honest. It's a damage boost. I mean, it makes noise, I suppose, so you do have to be careful about that to some degree, but, you know, the weirdest thing about it to me is that, you know, as far as I can tell, it's the same accuracy as a regular attack, so, and there's no cooldown on it. Like, if I was going to fix that, I believe I would give it exhaustion, so you can't just spam it, and I would make it a guaranteed hit, because then it would be really, 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 really good for me to, remember to do it, and I wouldn't be in this weird situation where it's technically optimal for me to like bounce between different enemies. Would having clarity on something be worth also having stasis on it? Depends on the character. Stasis is both good and bad, mostly bad. I would probably wear that on a mummy in certain branches, certainly spider. If it was swappable, I would keep. If it was like a ring or something, I would keep that on me at all times. For sure, on every character. Yeah, you'd still have Petrify to deal with, and Banish, but for the most part, you wouldn't have to deal with MR. Okay, yeah, so I am big. I'm a big boy as a PaWn Tonga, therefore, I only have to get to 15 skill for shields. So we're going to do that. That's why I dumped my experience potion into that. I shouldn't be walking forward, because I could very easily walk into a sorcerer who immediately paralyzes me. Playing a little bit too fast, not too fast. Oh, God. Terrifying. He can two-shot me. We don't have silence. We could die here. I could die here and have be able to do literally nothing about it. If he decides to iron shot me twice and get full damage, I'm just dead. Is there anything I can do to guarantee that doesn't happen? Well, obviously we're going to telly first, almost certainly. We don't have blink. We have the spell blink at 91% fail rate, but we have not been given a single blink scroll. I suppose if I was playing truly optimally, we probably would have read this scroll since blink is not available yet. We're going to read telly. Okay, he doesn't do anything. That's a good start. I could haste. Huh. What's his MR like? It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, 3%. I suppose I could, like, Vuln Poly, but that's just going to make him more likely to petrify me, of course. Well, it's going to make the petrify more likely to work if he does it. It's not a huge deal. I can just drink cancel, but they put Boulder Beetles back in. And honestly, they're really dumb now because they do so much damage. It can show up super early. I think I'm going to move here because as long as I'm a tile away from him, there's a chance he tries to dig towards me. And there he goes. Cool. So he wasted a turn digging. Even though it doesn't make any sense, that's just how the AI works. Take a step. He shoots Iron Shot and misses. I take a step. He can't see me anymore. I take a step, and I teleport. How do we beat him? How do we get his ass off this floor? How do we deal with this dickhead? I think we do it from a staircase. We vuln, we poly. If he starts to petrify me, we simply drink cancel and go down. We turn him into a boulder beetle or a sphinx, perhaps. If we turn him into a draconian, that's no good because I think he keeps his spells. But because he just does so much damage and we have no blink, there's just an unavoidable chance of GG here. Wonder if I should use those scrolls. I'm going to try to avoid it for now. He's way down there, so we can safely go down. Okay, we've got a Got a gauntlet. By the way, we only get 12,000 turns in orc periods, so I can't do like infinite stair dancing here like I can in other branches. I should probably be using Potion Petition, by the way, to deal with, to buff up before fighting him, by the way. But a lot of it's just the problem of not having enough HP to weather 3 iron shots. The biggest problem is not having Blink. So really I should be buying a shop, you know? Alright. Labyrinth is right there. Oh, we got the... Okay, we got the big boy orc too. But we block most of these shots. 45 damage, 4 large rocks. We're just gonna run him out of rocks. We block it all because we're a true champion. Getting an apocalypse run, is it? It's not really an apocalypse run anymore, you know? Max turn count. Actually, no. There's no Zot timer in Abyss, so... To get a true apocalypse run, you would still have to... It's actually harder, because you'd have to fight through Abyss crap to do it. Take the time to rest. Where does this lead? Okay, we cannot take the staircase. Because our boy Jorgren is just chilling there. If we had Silence, man, if we had Silence Scroll, we would be so good. Pro Fire. What? I've only had 1 ring on this whole time. I guess I wasn't wearing my evasion. Anyway, we have Azrael over here. You can Hellfire me, that's cool, I guess. Alright. Fuck. Okay, let's take him seriously. Yeah, let's take him super seriously. I screwed up. Let's... Shit. He can actually Hellfire me for 60 damage. I'm being way too cavalier with him. Let's Potion Petition. Actually, no, let's Potion Petition. Haste and heal wounds. I don't want to be berserked here. Okay, good, we're hasted now. That's a lot more helpful. Wow. I actually can polymorph him. Wonder if that takes away his spells or not. Probably not. Be kind of cool if he became a sun demon, I guess, and took away his spells. Then he would be much less terrifying, but I have a suspicion that if he becomes a Soul Eater or a Blizzard Demon, he keeps the spells. Oh man, this is actually quite dangerous, the situation we're in. It's a lot less terrifying, though, with the fact that we're hasted now. Let's acid him. Okay, we hit him. Acid him again. Acid him again, he's dead. Okay. Yeah, he could have just sat there and done 60 damage to us per turn if he felt like it, and rolled well enough, and that would have been a real bad time for me. Even with the RF+, it doesn't matter for Hellfire, or Damnation as they're calling it. Pretty scary enemy to show up at this point in the game, to be honest. Not as bad as Jorgren, but still pretty tough. Okay, there's our boy that we've been truly fearful of. 13% para. He's by himself as far as I can tell. Okay, so we're going to Lightning Rod him. I probably should put on RF Plus versus those guys, to be honest. because of their bolt of fire. They could parry me and then bolt 6 times and I'm just dead. So even by themselves, I can't be so cavalier with them, now that I think about it. It's not super likely to happen, but it can happen. And that's enough for me to not want to do it on a streak, you know? Hello. Awful, awful, awful tin of trimmer stones. Just doesn't do its job, man. Alright. I should have probably been more careful about that disto. We could have gotten teleported somewhere ugly. Whoa, wait a minute. Did that just... Ah! What the fuck? I haven't fooled around on this floor that much. What? Is the timer way shorter than I thought it was? Where's the... What the poop? Where is it? The gate leading to a gauntlet disappears. Did they shorten the timer? They must have shortened the timer. Privyet, how you doing, Mr. Ostrom? I don't know if they nerfed Tremor Stones. I think I just rolled poorly, but I'm more curious about what the hell happened to this this entrance. I don't see any messages about it ticking down. Did they do some kind of wacky... Yeah, it says the loud beating of a very distant drum. Maybe it was a mimic? No, if it was a mimic, it disappears when you're right next to it. What's a morgue called before you die? I think it's still called a morgue file. I mean, yeah, if you guys want to... yeah, if you guys want to navigate here. And perhaps peruse it and tell me. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. That's really, really strange. I mean, we rested a good little bit, but not... I mean, maybe I just haven't played in too long, and that's just how short the timers are. I don't remember them being that short. 33957 found gauntlet. No way, then. No fucking way that the gauntlet only lasts 500 turns. They had to have nerfed it. Oh my god, talk about bad ideas. It's arguably already too short, you know? Well, that's only 5 full rests. I mean, I could have sworn it was like 1,000 turns before. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. That's something I'm not sure of, really. It just felt like we got less messages about it. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know. 33446 notice Jorgren. Well, that was on the other. That was on the other floor. So that clock is aughts. Doesn't that nerf the hell out of Che? Come fork this game yourself. Have fun. It's a mess, man, let me tell you. Is the book you published high fantasy, high power magic, high whatever it's called? That's a good question. That is, I've thought about this a good bit, and it kind of depends how you want to define it. It's definitely not low fantasy. There absolutely is magic in it. Powerful magic. I guess I would call it, yeah, I guess I would probably call it high fantasy. But it's not like Harry Potter tier where they're, you know, where magic is so common that it's like super mundane, you know. Make a comparison to a well-known book series if possible. I didn't really take a whole lot of inspiration from existing stuff. I mean, a lot of the tropes are the same as in that, like the magic technology trope, I'm sure you see in a good bit of fiction. Kind of like that Arcanum game from a while ago, magic-wise. Yeah, I get you. Maybe a similar power level to Dragonlance, maybe. Although even that, I think Dragonlance has magic a lot more common than in my book. Of course, it depends on which characters you're talking about and what part of the world you're in. You know. Yes, remember to buy my book. And in fact, if you don't want to pay money for my book, it is available for free on rosecrypto.com. You can pay whatever you want. Actually, I've set it up that way. Maybe if you want, you can download it, read it, decide you hate it and not pay me anything, or the opposite, read it, decide I entertained you for some number of hours, and later give me whatever you want. I'm fine with either. Yeah, go to rosecrypto.com/shop, and you'll see it right there. You can buy a physical copy, you can buy an ebook. For the ebook, you can pay whatever you want. Lord of the Rings level magic? No, it's definitely higher than Lord of the Rings level magic. In Lord of the Rings, magic was basically the purview of the gods only. A lot of people don't know this, but Gandalf was essentially like a miniature god, and so was Saruman. And basically everybody who does anything magical was either a god or essentially like an angel in the Lord of the Rings universe. So there were no, aside from some weird little references to the necromancer in The Hobbit, I think, who they talked about like that's just some human who learned necromancy, and it was actually Sauron. But I don't recall any regular dude learning real magic in Lord of the Rings. It was all dudes who were just, Istari. And Istari are essentially angels. Ring wraiths have magic, but there's magical things about them, but that only comes from the rings which were forged by Sauron, who is essentially like a second-class god. So, I think Tolkien had this big thing about, I guess, music being magical, and I suppose you had elves that were able to do magic, but elves were kind of an inherently magical race in Lord of the Rings. Like, they were able to sing songs and make magic stuff happen. Especially in the Silmarillion. But yeah, essentially in my novel, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's two classes of magic in my novel. One is you read it from books. You learn spells from books, and those are pretty rare and guarded fiercely by people who don't want you to have them. And it's also incredibly dangerous to do it that way because you essentially are making deals with spirits from somewhere else. And the other kind is called innate, where you're just kind of born with a particular power or set of powers, and you don't have to learn that the way a normal caster would. You just kind of have the ability to do it, and you can practice and get better, but you're never going to be able to do anything outside of that stuff, basically, whatever it is you were born with. And there's a in-universe justification for that, but I won't spoil it. I actually finished the second book in the series a few months ago, and I'm in the process of editing it now. You learn the unsettling truth of Pangolier having the same doll as Centaur. Yes. I see some artifact weapons. I don't really care to learn what they are. We're very much down the path of Broadaxe right now. Oh, that's new. Could this be something in the game in 0.26 that I don't hate? Okay, so if there's corpses around, I guess you get more AC, like the spell, the old Sigatuvi's Embrace spell. The base AC would decrease by 6, which is no good. However, it would give me RN+, so it's hard to say that I would not like this. Also gives me Army Asthma. They nerfed Rogue's Cloak. Oh, you can't actually trigger the Cloak of Thieves anymore. B-Crawl's really good. B-Crawl has gotten to the point where I consider it to be superior to mainline. I would highly recommend you play B-Crawl and not mainline unless you really, really have some reason you want to participate in the tournament. Okay, that's cursed. We have removed curse. I'll go ahead and use this. We don't need the RC Plus or the Arlec. This is a really good cloak for resistances if I ever take off Kriya's mail code and this sword, which I will. Anybody could host a B-Crawl tournament if they wanted to. I mean, I've been tempted to do that. I was thinking about doing something like that with a cryptocurrency reward for whoever won. Nothing substantial. We're talking like, you know, like $50 or something worth of crypto, but I will give 1 Bitcoin to whoever. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they ruined Starlight. Really, really annoying that they pooped on Starlight. That was formerly my favorite item because it was just good. It was just all around awesome. And now it's just gimmicky and goofy. It's not enough for an item to be good anymore. It's got to have some kind of whack-ass gimmick to it. It's like a 5-year-old is designing this stuff. Speaking of gimmicks, this Sigatuvi thing, I call these things meme items because typically if it has some kind of whack-ass gimmick to it, it's just not worth using. The Rat's Cloak is like the one exception to this. Rat's is really, really powerful. And formerly the Fog Cloak was really quite good too. I guess they ruined that too. This looks like it might be worth using, but I'm not going to give up having AC all the time to have AC sometimes. Love a DCSS tournament with a couple of commenters bouncing around some streams. I'm not sure if we have a big enough player base to have that happen. I suppose I could. I mean, we could have a session like that where I just commentate. I could like jump to different players, because there's Tiles chat, right? So I can just watch them and commentate on what they're doing. If I wasn't participating, that would be kind of interesting, I guess. So buy the Enchant Armor, let's buy the Identify, buy the Fear, buy the Teleport, Magic Mapping, not the Enchant Weapons, because we might not need them. Go ahead and Identify Potion, Identify Scrolls. Still no Blink. I should have identified two scrolls, by the way. Screen split with multiple streams. Sure. As long as it doesn't cause a substantial amount of lag. Oh boy. That is a Scarf of Resistance. What have they done in the 0.26 summary? Okay, so the good things are that there are a few UI improvements where if you polymorph something, it'll tell you what it can polymorph into. If you look at something like an Orc Sorcerer, they finally did what I've been on their asses to do for years, which is it shows the damage that spells will do. Still fails to tell you how much damage the weapon can do if they have one, but maybe in a future version. The bad stuff is basically everything else. They created this silly-ass PaWn Tonga race and replaced centaurs with it. They replaced food with the Zot Clock, which just kind of kills you instantly. Hey, Bostery. Okay, you found the code. I must have just messed up then. I guess they didn't change it. 400 to 600 turns. Yeah, I guess I just got distracted fooling around with Azrael. And I just spent more time doing that than I thought I did. I missed the, because I was like, I could have gone in. I had a moment to go in. I was like, oh, I'll just clear the landing area around it so I'm not fooling around when I leave, you know? Yeah, interesting. You know what they should do is I should be able to XV over it, and I should be able to see how many turns are left on it. Most are 600 to 800. Yeah, that's probably why I was confused. Yeah, in 9,013 turns, I just die instantly. What's up, by the way, Talus? How you doing, man? Otherwise known as Alyosha's Dream. That's the Zot Clock. It's real dumb. Anyway, we can have RF if we wear the Scarf of Resistance. My AC's pretty good. 9k turns is all I have in Orc, yes. It's per branch. It is pretty low. We have no reason to spend too much time in here, though. This is an interesting choice available to me. There's no reason to play Mummy at all anymore. How far through the run are we? We're probably not going to do extended. There's no real reason to in a tournament where I'm just trying to streak. We'll do like 4 runes probably. We're about halfway through the run, I would say. Maybe a little further. Hard to say, really. Depends on how long this stuff takes me. I'm trying to decide right now if I want to get the Scarf of Resistance or not. I probably do. Okay. There's no reason for me to wear Kriya's Mail Coat anymore once I find a good body armor. It's quite good for the AC right now, but gosh, we just lost 4 AC for that, though, just for the convenience of having RF all the time. I think it's worth it, but I just wish we could have had more magic resist, you know? Chainmail of willpower. Get the hell out of here. Just call it MR, man. Come on. You bought Bitcoin, it's all over. Based. You done with the Ethereum trade? I guess I better sell now that Talus is finally, Talus the no-coiner has finally gotten in. Why buy when it's so high? It could keep going higher. I assure you that could happen. Oh, right, Jorgren is here. Dollar cost average? Good. I mean, I'm not going to give you financial advice, but I think that's a good idea, personally. Black Draconian, Boulder Beetle, or Sphinx? Oh, the Tether FUD. People were talking about the Tether FUD as far back as at least 2017. If they were going to crash the whole market with fraudulent whatever, I think it would have happened by now. It's true this time. Yeah. Alright, Iron Shot has 4 range. 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot Iron Shot me from here. Are they getting sued? I think you're thinking of Ripple. Is somebody suing Tether? Okay, I need to be hasted. It's potion petition to get the haste. Okay, we're going to vulnerable. Please don't turn me into a piece of rock. 37%. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Does he keep his spells? Nope. So he could paralyze me, but I don't really care too much about being paralyzed by this fella. Okay, ass beaten. Cool. I feel like that was relatively clean. Let's wait off the will. The MR/2. I will give $20 to anybody who makes me a a browser plugin that changes, just like Control F changes willpower to MR on DCSS servers only. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because I would still have to search for Will Plus. God, I hate these bike shedding name changes. Like, you're used to typing a particular thing for literally years, and they change it just for the sake of it, you know. Makes DCSS more immersive. Does it? Does it, though? No, if you control FMR Plus, you do not get items. You have to actually type what you want. It's really dumb. Okay. Well, that's Orc, except for this. That's annoying. There we go. Okay, so we have 8,283 turns in here left, but we won't have to go back here except to either walk in to buy some stuff or walk in to make our way to Elf, so it's no big deal. I could see myself buying the Cloak of Arcor. Otherwise, not really. Did any broad axes drop? No, we just have the generic one. I sure wish we had Blink. I don't feel safe until I have Blink. Okay. Technically, it might be optimal for me to go ahead and swap to the chainmail of MR+, but we don't have any enchant armor for it. We've been burning it on Kriya's, or not on Kriya's mailcoat, on Tower Shield of Protection. That was a shapeshifter, that's dangerous. Hey, look at this guy. This guy can show up, I think, as early as D7. And his roll... Oh, these lazy bastards! No, no, no. This is not Trunk. This is 0.26. Why would you do this? Why would you run a tournament when you haven't even bothered to make an icon? You've got to be fucking kidding me. Look at that. A little question mark. I thought it was lazy when they didn't bother to make a tile for PaWn Tonga, but this? Jesus Christ, man. You've got to be kidding me. This is not like a Trunk version, you know, it's not a development version of the game. This is like a serious, you know, we've made the version of the game now. This is 0.26. It's like it's being run by infants, you guys. And it doesn't bother to tell me how much damage it does, but I think it's something like 67 potentially. But we blocked it because we're a big boy with a big shield. Oh, he can leap away from you. How cute. How much damage does he do? 32. Early access. Can we not melee him to death? Jesus Christ, no we can't. Okie dokie. I mean, we can, we just need to... Yeah, we're fine, actually. Just took a minute. Identify. Sweet, we have 2 identifies. Can we have Blink, please? We have Summoning, that's good. And we have Acquirement. Pathetic non-Shay follower. If I wanted to one-shot it, I'd have to be using something with a little more base damage than a short sword. Acquirement. Malcolm Rose's Bane. Alright, we have a funny choice ahead of us. 1,361 gold is really, really good. But can I really turn down a manual of evocations? I'm going to say no. I mean, that is just really, really, really strong. Yeah, Troll of Che could do it, probably. Have to be relatively high level with high unarmed, but yeah, you could do 70-something damage with him. Oh, you mean with the short sword? I'm not convinced, no. If I saw a manual of evocations in a shop for 1,361 gold, would I buy it? Yes. But that's not really the calculus we're doing here. I'm probably not going to see that as the thing. We're going to take the manual. It's just really good. Free experience. And we'll not bother with it right now, but once I get shields to 15, we will train that straight away. Oh my. Oh god. This is a little bit dangerous. We're not as good in melee as I'd like to be. This is not a real hallway. They're going to surround me. I guess I will just do this. Nice. Okay, we killed one. PaWn Tonga is new to 0.26. It is an armadillo man. It is Pleasing Fungus's failed attempt at being clever. He replaced centaurs with them. They move at speed 10, regular speed rather than the fast speed of a centaur. They have pretty shitty aptitudes. And they can roll at enemies for an attack that does extra damage and makes a lot of noise, like this. Well, centaurs exist as NPCs, but yeah, they took them out of the game, as players. Player characters. Pretty lame, right? Yeah, another generic melee, pretty much. Like, oh boy, I can charge at enemies. Just gonna walk away from this stuff. Because I have a big shield and I'm allowed, basically. Still no blink, amazingly. This game has been stingy with blink, this game has been stingy with remove curse. There is no reason not to go Gozag on every character now, basically, unless you find another win button god early. Like Red Mule. Yeah, if you're Necromancer, you... Well, no, even... You can still just go straight for BVC if you found it. Or you can just vamp drain a lot. But yeah, I agree, it's kind of a nerf for Necro guys, I suppose. Okay, do I want to finish dungeon? 27,000 turns is probably enough to get through orb run and everything. I have a curious motivation to not do D15 now, though. It's very wacky, because I might be running back and forth a good bit. Oh, it fundamentally changes most systems in the game, or at least a whole lot of them. And I don't think they bothered to think about the consequences of removing food at all before they just kind of unceremoniously did it. The Zot clock was almost an afterthought, you know? Seems to me. RC plus Slay plus 4. Okay, well that is strictly better than my Slay plus 4 ring. Although I'd rather have Evasion and MR. Does Troll have no downsides to regen? Correct. Correct. They took away a system that was very, very, very much ingrained in the rest of the game in ways that were sometimes subtle. Troll was always really strong, but yeah, now it's just significantly less interesting is what it is. Okay, we're going to avoid doing D15 for the time being because I want to have as much Zot clock as possible. Ghoul doesn't rot anymore, they just gain HP when they kill stuff. It's so dumb. Actually, I'm not sure if Ghoul rots, now that I think about it. Maybe they rot, and then they get the rotting back when they kill stuff. You still lose HP? On Drain. Oh, you're talking about the Drain brand. Yeah, they took away stat, skill drain. Really goofy. Now go if Che can lose the game if you play suboptimal because it's aughts count, not turn count. Yeah, well, even just a Naga period. It's really dumb that it's aughts count, not turn count. Are you sure about that? Because that's so dumb. I don't think it's on par with Mock Healing, but yeah, it is quite strong. Ghoul was already a relatively strong species. They just buffed it. I'm kind of curious if it still rots if you don't kill things. I think they took the rot out entirely. I'm not sure how I would look that up. Is there like a thing that lets me look up species? Huh. Maybe I can... Maybe this has been updated. They also know this is old. Yeah, nobody's bothered to change this. Whatever. Feel free to test that, somebody. See if ghouls still rot. I don't think they do, but... Anyway, Oh yeah, is the Zot clock an attempted nerf of stat form, I wonder? They don't rot? Oh my god. That's funny. Okay, where are we going? We don't have a rune. We do have our poise. And we have okay defenses, so I think it's going to be Spider Nest. Been confused. A bit corroded. Saw a clock of 22.5 in layers, so we're probably okay to Stair Dance pretty much indefinitely. Let's pull this guy. We don't want to fight him with buddies. Try to melee him and fail pretty much. Let's just do this. This doesn't care about my corrosion level. Gould Delver was one of the tournament combos. Oh, is that an MLX choice? Stat drain to hell in Zot. Yeah. How did he get stat drained in Zot? Oh, was it Clown Pies? No, I'm not asking if you're bad. I'm trying to figure out what mechanic caused you to take stat drain in Zot. Because I don't remember that existing there, except maybe Clown Pies. Yep, stat drain. No, that can happen, dude. Clowns are really overpowered and dumb, and RNG heavy. Wow, Spider-1 Ghost Moth. That's Condenser Vein. We get a bit memed by the Condenser Vein, but whatever, it'll make the Orb Spider have a bad day. Can I melee this guy? I would probably Lightning Rod him if we had charges. Oh yeah, moths are pretty rare in Zot, but they do exist. Confused. Let's stop fooling around. Let's drink one of our 7 curing. Let's, maybe this will be enough. Nope. Can we melee him? Yep. Without the +7 AC from my racial ability, we would be having a much less easy time in here, I have to say. I'm pretty sure they do, Mr. Ostrom, but I guess I'm not positive. Yeah, Spriggans, a lot of the interesting things about Spriggans are gone without food. Okay, that's floor 1, pretty straightforward.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Assassin 0 redeemed rage. You were just trying to figure out what that did, I assume. It's my my channel points reward. Do you feel like it was a good use of your 2,000 channel points or no?
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fucking no break, pussy! Fuck you!
How does poison resist ring work? Yeah, you absolutely can still get poisoned. If you, I mean, ironically, having a lot of GDR and having a lot of AC is almost a better way to resist poison than poison resist. Poison resist works. It's like I believe that it reduces the amount of poison that you get when you get poisoned. I'm not sure if it actually. I'm not sure if it actually gives you an extra chance to... Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.